Hello everyone, hope you're all settled in and comfortable. I'm Manisha Martin and I'm a product marketer for Zoho Sign. And we have Rajiv with us, a product marketer and my fellow trainer for the day. Today we'll be taking you through an easier way to manage your recruitment process, onboarding, and life cycle management. We will show you how using Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho Recruit and Zoho People will simplify your HRMS processes. At any point in the session, if you feel like you have questions, feel free to use the questions tab on your left hand panel to raise them. Our panelists are there to answer them and provide you with assistance if necessary. Before we dive into the webinar, let's take a quick look at the agenda for the day. We start with a look into the digital transformation happening in the HRMS space, followed by walkthroughs of popular use cases of Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho Recruit and Zoho People, respectively, followed by a dedicated questions and answer segment to address any unanswered questions. We also have a couple of polls just to understand where you stand with these integrations. Let's look at the apps that are in focus today, starting with Zoho Sign. Zoho Sign is a highly secure, cloud based digital signature app that enables us to sign, send, and manage all our documents from anywhere at any time. A single pit stop that simplifies paperwork, has faster document turnaround time, and easy compliance. Zoho Recruit is an end to end recruitment software for faster hires and better hiring. With scalability, customization, and remote hiring tools, Recruit has everything your staffing agency or internal HR team needs to match the right candidate to the right role. Zoho People is an online human resource management system designed to manage and access all your employee data from a centralized location. Zoho strongly believes that employees are at the core part of any organization. With this in mind, Zoho products are designed not only to simplify your backend HR processing, but also to deliver an experience to your employees that is nothing short of exceptional. Integrating Zoho Sign with People and Recruit gives you the advantage of using e-signatures to complete many HR processes smoothly without having to waste time or resources on document signing, and at the same time carries the legal validity as that of a wet signature. Now, Rajiv will be taking you through a detailed overview of Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho Recruit, a look into how a digital signature app can create a great candidate experience for your candidates. Over to you, Rajiv.
Hey, thanks for the brief introduction, Manisha. Hi everyone. For those who are joining right now, I'm Rajiv and one of the product experts at Zoho. Allow me to share my screen. I do hope that my screen is visible and my audio is loud and clear. It's 2022 and there is a lot of digital transformation happening in the HR space, starting with remote and hybrid work, paperless office, inclusive work environment, and much more. However, many companies, even today, go with the traditional approach of handling paperwork, such as collecting candidates' resume, sending invites for the interview, sending offer letters via mail, as well as collecting the signed copies, safeguarding of the signed copies. The traditional method is time consuming and is also cumbersome. By integrating your HRMS with an e-signature solution like Zoho Sign, can help you sort of most of these problems and offer a great candidate experience. On top of that, you can also configure automated HR workflows, which can help you save a lot of time and concentrate on real work. Okay, so let's start. But before that, how about a quick poll? Looks like there are many of our attendees who have just started using Zoho. We hope that this session will be helpful to every attendee and lets you learn more about Zoho. So what is Zoho all about? Zoho helps you send, sign, and manage business paperwork using a simple yet secure cloud-based digital signing process. Our app has already saved businesses millions of dollars in administrative costs by helping them digitize their documents. Zoho also offers some advanced features for HR folks, such as frequently used HR documents can be saved as templates, collecting signatures on NDA and social media policy via sign forms, collecting signatures in bulk from hundreds and thousands via bulk send, and much more. The cherry on the top is Zoho Sign readily integrates with your in-house apps using the REST APIs, webhooks, and mobile SDKs. If you are someone new to Zoho Sign, you can click the link below to sign up for a free 14-day enterprise trial, which will give you sufficient time to explore the app completely. So, as you know, security and compliance is paramount in the HR space. ZoSign offers multi-factor authentication, tamper-proof audit trails, blockchain timestamping, and certificate of completion. Not just that, ZoSign also offers signer's identity verification, trusted document timestamping, collecting signatures via SMS securely. These tamper-proof features will help you in making sure that only the intended candidate has signed the HR documents. Accessing your documents across platforms is important in today's hybrid work environment. To help you with that, ZoSign has native mobile and desktop applications available across popular platforms such as Android, iOS, iPad, macOS, and Windows. Today, we hire and employ people across borders. Each country has its own compliance and legality. ZoSign helps you comply with your regional and international laws such as eSign Act in the United States, eIDAS in the European Union, PIPEDA in Canada, ITA 2000 in India, and the Electronic Transaction Act in Australia and Southeast Asian countries. Did you know? It is recommended to sign your HR documents with qualified electronic signatures for the highest level of compliance and to be valid in the court of law. ZoSign also offers qualified electronic signatures with partnering with leading trust service providers. Integration plays a crucial part in the HRMS space. ZoSign not only integrates with Zoho apps but also with other popular apps such as Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, HubSpot, Pipedrive, and other 50 plus popular applications. We also offer integration with no-code workflow tools such as Zoho Flow, Zapier, Microsoft Power Automate, and Integromat. With all this, you can automate digital signature collection and workflow. Alright, let's begin to know more about Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho Recruit. But before that, let's take another poll. Looks like many of our attendees are yet to try these integrations. I hope this session will be useful when you're exploring it to the full. Before we deep dive into the main integration, here are some popular use cases where you can implement Zoho Recruit to the fullest. Building an effective team is an art, and if your recruitment process is sloppy, it can cost you to miss out on suitable candidate for your organization. Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho Recruit will help you streamline this process. Alright, now let's take a look at the flow of this integration. A candidate's profile gets added to Zoho Recruit. Once that's done, the HR of that organization will send an invitation letter using the Zoho Sign extension. Once the candidate signs and acknowledges the invite using Zoho Sign, and after the entire interview process is done and the candidate is selected for the job, HR sends the offer letter using the same extension. Now, the candidate accepts that offer letter by signing it using Zoho Sign and the candidate is onboarded. The classic example of this integration would be me. I joined Zoho in the middle of the pandemic and my onboarding process was entirely virtual. At Zoho, we use our in-house apps for all our operations, including the HRMS. I was asked to sign all the necessary paperwork using Zoho Sign, which not only reduced the risk of physical contact, but also the entire onboarding process took place as smooth as possible. Before we get into the prerequisites and get to know more about the integration, what is Zoho Recruit all about? Zoho Recruit is a cloud-based hiring platform that gives HR teams and recruitment agencies the digital tools needed to fill roles quickly and efficiently. So how is Zoho Recruit different from Zoho People? A major difference between the two is, though both are used for employee onboarding and lifecycle management, Zoho Recruit is used for setting up the interview process, tracking the interview status, and sending out offer letters. Now, do note that to set this integration up and get going, there are a couple of prerequisites. The prerequisites of Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho Recruit and Zoho People are quite similar. You can try this extension with a 14-day enterprise trial version too, but you must have a valid Zoho Recruit or Zoho People subscription. However, if you are subscribed to Zoho One, you wouldn't need separate licenses for the apps and you would already have access to the highest level of features in both apps. It is simply a matter of setting up the integration from here on. Also, once I finish with the extension installation process, I will walk you through three use cases where you can send an invite document via Zoho Sign, send out an offer letter, and send bulk offer letters. Okay, so this is what your Zoho Recruit dashboard will look like. Foremost, let's see how to install the Zoho Sign extension for Zoho Recruit. To do this, click Settings on your Recruit homepage. This in turn takes you to the Recruit setup page. Click Marketplace as highlighted and this will redirect you to the Zoho Marketplace. As you can see on this page, you can find the list of all the extensions available. Search for the extension Zoho Sign for Zoho Recruit. This is one way to install the extension. The other way would be to just click on the link given below and search for the extension. On the extension installation page, you can find the details about the extension like the compatible edition. All you have to do is click install and proceed with the steps that follow. Since you have already logged into Zoho accounts, your basic details get auto-fetched and you can edit them if needed. Check the terms of service of the Zoho Marketplace box and click install and then proceed with the steps. At one point, you will be asked to choose users or profiles. Over here, you will be finding three choices. Install for admins only will have the extension be installed in Recruit for only the users with the administrator profile. Install for all users will have the extension be installed in Recruit for all the users. Choose profiles will have the extension installed in Recruit for manually chosen users. If this option is chosen, click continue and then select the desired profiles. If you are done selecting the needed users, you can proceed by clicking confirm and proceed with the steps. On the same page from where you search for Zoho Sign's extension for Zoho Recruit, click the install tab. So this will open with a list of all the installed extensions. You can uninstall the extension right from the list, but if you wish to get to know more details about the extension or revoke Zoho's OAuth connection, you can do so by clicking on the extension and you can find a similar window as you can see on my screen right now. Like I said earlier, you can find the complete details about the extension here. Please note that when you install the Zoho Sign extension, three other modules will also be created. They are Zoho Sign Documents. This contains the list of documents that have been sent. Zoho Sign Recipients shows the list of recipients to whom documents have been sent. Zoho Sign Document Events displays a list of documents and the status in which they lay. Now, let's take a look at our first use case, which is how to send an invite to a candidate via Zoho Sign. Click the Candidates tab on the top navigation bar and select the intended candidate. From the drop-down box, select Send for Zoho Sign. So once you do that, a new window will open where you can find the basic functionalities offered by Zoho Sign. You can either upload a document of your choice or use an already existing template. Click More Settings to implement some of the listed advanced settings. You can leave the recipients a note if there is any extra information to convey and also write a description of your documents for your own future reference. If your document has shorthand tags, you can go ahead and click Quick Send. Else, if you click Continue, you will be redirected to the Zoho Sign's document field adding window where you can add all the necessary fields and send the document for signature. The earlier mentioned steps were for sending a document for signature, but you can follow the same procedure when you are choosing a template. The templates that get listed over here are the ones that are already created in your mapped Zoho Sign account. Zoho Sign also provides an option to specify the order in which you want your recipients to sign. Click the Set Signing Order checkbox and assign a number to each recipient to choose what order they need to sign. If the Set Signing Order is checked, the document will go to the next recipient in the queue only after the preceding recipient has signed the document. Now, let's take a look at another use case where I will show you how to send an offer letter to the selected candidate in an individual manner. Select the job title listed under the job openings and click the three dots and select Generate Offer Letter. In the next section, choose the correct offer letter template and then select the option with the eSign Zoho Sign. To add the candidate's name, click on the tooltip and you will find the list of all the candidates associated with that specific job role. Select the candidate and fill in the mandatory fields and click Proceed to Send if you wish to send out the offer letter. In the previous slide, you must have noticed the option of selecting the template. Now, let's see how you can manage those templates. Click Settings and once you are on the setup page, click Templates which can be found under Customization. In this window, you can find all the created templates under the respective template type tab. To manage the offer letter templates, click the Offer Templates tab. As you can see, over here, you can find the list of already created templates. If you wish to create a new template, just click on the Create Offer Template button and it will display some predefined templates. But you also have an option to upload your own document. The last use case that I will be talking about in this session is how to send out bulk offer letters. Click the Candidates tab from the top navigation pane and it will give you the list of all the candidates. On the left hand side, you will find a list of filters. Select the app filters and click Apply Filters to sort out the intended candidates. Once that's done, select the candidates and click on Generate Offer Letter. Once you do this, you will find the same options that you found when sending an offer letter to a specific candidate. Click Proceed to send out the offer letters. If the offer letters are sent out successfully, you will find a similar message as you can see on my screen right now. You also have an option to track the status of the sent documents. To do so, just click on the three dots on the top navigation pane and select Zoho Sign candidates. Select the intended candidate and you can find the documents information, and if you scroll down, you can also find the recipient's document status and their respective signing role. So, this is how you can send not only invite mailers or offer letters, but also manage these sent documents with the Zoho Sign Zoho Recruit integration. Now, Manisha will walk you through Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho People. Over to you, Manisha.
Thank you, Rajiv. I hope that I'm audible. I hope that my screen is visible now. Once again, a quick reminder that this webinar is being recorded and you can raise any questions that you have using the questions tab. Every good human resources department knows how much paperwork is involved in onboarding and offboarding staff. The larger the team, the more documentation there is that needs to be signed, sealed, and organized for all your business needs. If you haven't considered digital documentation before, then you really are making it difficult for human resources. Wait, the reason HR usually prints documents is because at least one of the parties needs to sign them, don't they? Well, with Zoho Sign, it's easy to avoid the printer, scanner, photocopier, and still have paperwork signed. Just imagine how much your administrative work will be reduced if you avoid these technical B's when your HR goes digital. From onboarding processes that include signing of documents such as offer letters, social media policy, non disclosure agreements, to exit letters along with conduct certificates for employees leaving the organization, we cover every base. Using workflows in Zoho People, you can automate sending digital letters for e signing. An e-signature template can be created and mapped to a workflow so that the entire process of getting letters signed digitally can be automated. Now that we've realized that Zoho Sign and its integration with Zoho People would increase the efficiency of your HR team, today we'll be looking at how to use Zoho Sign for simplifying everyday HR tasks such as sending probation confirmation letters or experience certificates that are specific to individual employees. In such cases, you can store documents in the employee form in Zoho People for each employee or create ready made templates and send them for e signature. We'll also be looking at sending mail merge letters. As you know, mail merge templates help you send standard HR letters to multiple people at once with dynamic fields. A mail merge template fetches details from the employee form and generates dynamic letters, and it can be sent out for e-signing as well. This would be followed by an overview of how to configure e-signature templates. First things first, let's start with enabling the Zoho Sign integration in Zoho People. If you have an active account in Zoho Sign, from your home page go to the settings, which is a gear icon on the top right corner, and then go to integrations and click on Zoho. Next, scroll down to find Zoho Sign and click on configure. With that, we have enabled Zoho Sign integration on Zoho People. An active account in Zoho Sign is necessary for this integration. If you do not have an account in Zoho Sign, you will be taken to the sign up page of Zoho Sign in order to create a new account. Type in your organization's name and click on Save and Proceed. Your new Zoho Sign account has been created. You will be redirected to the Zoho People's integrations page. You can find your Zoho People account to be automatically integrated with Zoho Sign. So let's now look at how to send a document for e-signing. From your home page, go to Files and then to eSignature Documents. Click on Send for Signature. Next, type in the email address of the recipient under Recipients. In case of multiple recipients, enter the email addresses separated by commas. Also provide the email addresses of those to whom you would like to send a copy of the document under Send Email Copies to. Give a name for the document to be sent. Enter a message if you would like to have a note added along with the document. Select the folder under which you would like to store the signed copies. You can also configure additional settings such as customized reminders and set up automatic website redirection. Check the reminder box if you would like to have a reminder sent. Set the last date after which the document would expire. Under automatic website redirection, enter the pages you want to redirect your recipients to for the applicable scenarios. On signing the document, when the recipient chooses to sign later, on rejecting, when all recipients have signed. Once done with all this, click Send. A new Zoho Sign panel will open wherein you can view the recipients, document name, and all other details listed. Once you have entered and verified all the details, click on Continue. Drag and place the signature field in the document that needs to be sent. Drag and drop other required files from the right hand side. Once you're done with this, click Send and then confirm the details to be sent by clicking on Confirm. Let's now look at one of the most common HR tasks, that is sending a probation confirmation letter. To send a probation confirmation letter to employees for e-signature using Zoho Sign, first, from your home page, go to Settings and then to Customization, and from there select Forms. Go to the respective form, in this case Employee Form. Under Form Properties, check Enable Zoho Sign. To send the letter to the respective employees, from your home page, go to Organization and then to Employee. Select the employees for whom the probation confirmation letter should be sent for e-signature. Once you have entered all the required details, click Send to send your document. The human resources team often has to send work certificates to employees. With this integration, you can have your employee contact certificate or work certificate stored under employee files in the Files module. Let's now look at how to do this. From your dashboard, go to Files and select Employee Files. Next, click on All Files. In the top right corner, you can see an ellipsis. On clicking it, you will see an option to send a signature. Select that. Enter all the required details and click Send. A new Zoho Sign panel will open wherein you can view the recipient's document name and all the other details listed. Once you have verified everything, you need to click on Continue to go ahead. The Zoho Sign panel with the uploaded document will open. Drag and drop the required fields from the right side. Click on Send at the top right corner. Verify the number of fields for each signer from the pop-up and click on continue to go ahead. And this is how you can easily send work certificates with Zoho Sign. Let's now look at sending mail merge letters. As you know, mail merge templates help you send standard HR letters to multiple people at once with dynamic fields. A mail merge template fetches details from the employee form and generates dynamic letters, and it can be sent out for e-signing using Zoho Sign. From your home page, go to Organization and select Employee from the panel, then click on Send for Signature. Under Send From, select Mail Merge. Select the respective template from the drop down, fill in other details, and click Send. With that, we have covered sending letters generated from Mail Merge. Mail Merge, as we know, is beneficial when you have some standard letters like employment contracts, probation confirmation letters, etc., to be sent across to many people at one go. Using workflows in Zoho People, you can automate sending digital letters for e signing. An e-signature template can be created and then mapped to the workflow, so you can send letters and get them signed using Zoho Sign in an automated way, resulting from any action or record addition in Zoho People. Let's now look at the steps for this. From your home page, go to Settings and then to Automation. From the Actions panel, click eSign Configurations and then click Configure eSign. Upload the document that you would like to send for signing. Enter all the required details. Configure additional settings like custom messages and submit. You can also configure additional settings such as set an expiry date and reminder as required under more options. You can also configure automatic website redirection. Enter the pages you want to redirect your recipients to for the applicable scenarios and send. And with this, we've come to an end to our walkthrough of Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho People and its popular use cases. Here are some important URLs to get started with Zoho Sign. If you're stuck at any point while setting up your Zoho Sign account, you can always find related help docs in the first link. We also have individual links for our solutions guide, integrations, and API guide. We also have our own YouTube channel and video repository where we upload all webinar recordings along with how to videos for all our native applications. If you have any other queries, ideas, or want to engage in discussions with our community of developers and users, you can visit our forums and participate. I've also given links for you to read up on the legality of Zoho Sign in your country, its pricing, and request a personalized demo for your organization. Here are some similar URLs and links to the resources for Zoho Recruit and Zoho People. For any questions that you might have about setting up the app, you can refer to their detailed FAQ session. And to find out more about the various HRMS integrations they have and how you can set them up, you can visit their add-ons section and read up. They do have a forum for user discussions where you can post ideas, queries, or seek assistance from their community of users and support engineers. To know more about their pricing plans, you can check out their pricing page and learn what suits your business the best. We are available to answer all your questions and are always open to feedback as well as suggestions that could help us enhance and improve our services. In case you want to get in touch with us, you can always reach us by dropping an email at support@zohosign.com or support@zohopeople.com for Zoho People or support@zohorecruit.com for Zoho Recruit. You can also visit our social media pages for our latest announcements on product releases and updates and webinars. Feel free to comment on our posts or DM us there to engage with us if you're a social bug. With that, I'm going to hand over the session to Sai, who's going to be taking over the questions that you may have and that are yet to be answered. Over to you, Sai.
Hey, hi folks. Just give me a second here. I'll make the slides navigable for you so you can sort of move forward and backward through the slides in case you want to revisit a slide that we presented. So at this point, I think you should be able to move between the slides and refer to any slide and ask us questions. All the URLs on the slides should be clickable so you could click them and open them in a separate tab and so on. So yeah, so we're at the end of this session. We can use the next 20 minutes or so to answer your questions. We did have a fair amount of questions coming in during the session, and at that point, I think our panelists were just answering them using the chat replies. But I imagine there would be more questions, and there would be follow-ups for some of the questions that we've replied to. So feel free to raise them now so that we can answer them in a more detailed and elaborate manner. So yeah, go ahead and type out your questions, and I'll just wait for you to raise them so we can start answering them. Thank you. All right, I can see that there are a lot of questions coming in. This is great. So a few of the employees want to know if the links to the presentation and the recording will be sent to them at a later point in time. Yeah, as Manisha had stated earlier, we are recording this session, so we will be sending out a copy of the recording and the deck in a couple of days' time. It just takes us a couple of days to process the recording and upload it to our YouTube channel and host it there. So just give us that time, and we will send an email to your inbox with the email that you've registered for the session with the material that you can take a look at for your own reference or for you to share it with other people, either in your organization or in your circles. All right. There's a question from Jonathan. The question reads: there is a section in the employee profile in Zoho People that is called eSignature documents. Is there any way to make the eSign documents attached to an employee profile in this section? Thank you for this question, Jonathan. I believe one of our panelists, Anwar, is typing out the answer to this question right now. But to my knowledge, I think this can be done with custom functions, which using the Deluge scripting language. But I leave it to Anwar to explain to you as to how to go about the process, or there might be a built-in function for them to do this as well. But like I said, I am not no expert of Zoho People yet, but Anwar should be able to answer this question through chat. All right. Here's a question from Ashutosh. I believe this is a follow-up to one of the questions he had asked us earlier as to how Zoho Sign can add fillable fields similar to some of the other e-signature applications out there. To answer this question, it's very simple. When you send a document out for signature in Zoho Sign, the first thing you do is build out the workflow for the signers. You basically add the different signers' email addresses and the order in which they're going to be signing the document, and you assign their role, whether they're signing the document, whether they're approving it, and so on. And once this is done, the workflow is built. You can move on to the document viewer screen where you get to see the document itself. And at this point, you can drag and drop the various fields of information that these signers would have to fill out, and not just the signature which the signers would need to add. So this can include fields about their personal information or their business information, such as their name, email ID, their address, their company, their designation, and so on. Or for any fields that require, say, a custom response, you can simply add a text field and set it to a particular type of data. Say, for example, if you want to collect email addresses, you can set a text field and then set the data validation to email, so it only allows them to enter something that resembles that of an email address. So you can do this, and you can add multiple text fields for different fields of data, and it's all just a matter of dragging and dropping them onto the document and placing them where they need to go. All right, so this would allow you to create these fillable fields, which you see when you drag and drop them. And once this is sent to the signers, what they see is they see the document, and then they see the fields on which they need to basically click and fill them out. And we do have this nice prompt or a hint box that guides them sort of through the process of signing the document, where it helps them navigate from one field to the other. And if there are common fields, say if there's multiple name fields or multiple signature fields, it is also smart enough to know that and be able to fill it all out at once when they fill one field of that type, and so on. So this is just part of the normal signing process that is already available in Zoho Sign. But in case, say, you upload a document which has, say, blanks or fills or sort of places where things need to go, and you want Sign to be able to automatically recognize what these blanks are for and add the fields, then that is something we don't presently support in Zoho Sign, but it is something we will very soon do support in Zoho Sign, as we are in the final stages of sort of implementing this AI based detection algorithm, which will automatically add fields. So that is something I hope you can sort of watch out for, and try out once it is out. And when it is out, we will be making an announcement in our forums, and we will be letting our users know that it's there in our release notes as well. All right. A couple of people have said that they are not able to move the slides. Uh, I'm sorry. It's just a couple of people that have raised this query, so I wasn't sure if this was an issue all this long. So in case you're still not able to move your slides, I request you to try again, because I think you should be able to navigate it now. But if you're not, maybe try reconnecting to the session, or even in that case, just do not worry. If it's just something that you need to go back to refer for your own clarification, do not worry. As I said, we will be sending the deck across in a couple of days. But if it's something that you need to raise a question for, perhaps you can just give us the question or mention the slide number if you remember it, so that we can go back to that and help you, remember what you are going to ask us. All right. A question from Janora reads: does the integration with Recruit, is it designed for the enterprise edition or the standard edition of Zoho Sign? Junora, I'm not sure I'm not sure which apps licensing plans you're referring to here, whether it's for Recruit or for Zoho Sign, but I believe Zoho Sign supports the integrations with both People and Recruit right from our standard edition. But as far as Zoho Recruit and Zoho People go, you might have to consult with their experts just to know, find out which plans they support these integrations in. If I am not wrong, I believe Recruit supports integrations from their enterprise plan, which is what supports add-ons, and People start supporting integrations right from their basic paid plans. So, like I said, this is something I'm not particularly sure about, but I can speak for Zoho Sign, but not for the other apps at this point. But yeah, there are no particular limitations within Zoho Sign per se. As long as you have the standard plan, you should be able to use these integrations. Just keep in mind the limitations you have within the Zoho Sign standard plan. Say you want to send out a lot of documents, then the standard plan does have some limits on how many you can send out and so on. Um, so yeah, that's. I hope that answers your question. I'm just going to keep scrolling through the questions so I can find out more unanswered questions. All right, here's a question from Ikram, who's asking us, do we offer any Zoho expert certifications? Yes, Ikram, we do offer a lot of certifications across several Zoho applications. However, that is not offered by the individual product teams. Rather, you can reach out to the Zoho training team, who run an academy called Spark, where you can apply for certifications in different Zoho products and their implementations. So if this is something that you are actively interested in, do write to us at support@zohosign.com, and we will copy the respective team to help you with the process of enrolling in a certification program for any of the apps that you want to get a certified get yourself certified for. Right. Here's an interesting question from Christy. The question reads: I am currently just subscribed to Zoho Sign only. Is there a way to add on a secondary email that in order to get notified when documents have been signed? The email we have currently goes to our billing department. All right. A very good question, Christy. So I believe what you have described here is that the email that you have used to subscribe to Zoho Sign belongs to your billing department. However, you are the one using the account to send documents out, so the notifications are being sent to the billing department instead of you. What I can suggest here is that perhaps you can add an additional user, and you can start using the additional user license to send out documents, whereupon this user gets the email, the emails and the notifications for the documents that have been sent out, while you keep the other user which has been linked to your billing department dormant, in which way one user manages the payment and the subscription, and the other user uses the app and actually manages the documents. This is something that a lot of our users already do. I think that's down to the nature of their business as to how they split their business functions, as to who manages finance, who manages payroll, who manages paperwork, and so on. So this is just a workaround that I can suggest at this point. But if it is something wherein you want somebody to be in active control of the account, but somebody else to receive the notifications, then I'm afraid we do not have something of that sort at this point. Perhaps you could make use of something like, say, Zoho Flow to actually trigger a workflow wherein whenever a document action is performed, such as a document is signed, it is declined, or so on, then you can use Zoho Flow to connect it with Zoho Mail or even your own email provider, such as third parties like Gmail and Outlook and so on, to trigger an email based on the documents activity that has just been performed to any particular email address that you would want that this notification to be sent out to. So that's just some, that is just another workaround that I'm giving you that is easier for you to manage. All right. Ashutosh has asked us another question. In Zoho Sign API docs, there are no webhooks. Could you guide us about that? I want to be notified when the user views signs the agreement. Could you tell us more about the legality of Zoho Sign documents? All right. I believe that's two separate questions. Let me answer the first one. So Ashutosh, Zoho Sign does have its own webhook system where you can trigger webhook calls to your own URL or your server, which can listen for these calls and extract the information from the webhook payload. Uh, so this is something you can do both via API and from the user interface as well. If the API documentation is not sufficient or is not clear, please do elaborate on that in an email to us. However, the easier way to go about this would be to just go to our user interface and click on settings on the left navigation bar and go down to API settings, which brings you to our webhooks page within the user interface, whereupon you can actually set up a webhook, insert your URL where you're capturing these webhook payloads, and even test it and then start sending out notifications. These webhooks can be set up in such a manner that it sends out a call for the functions that you define you need to receive a webhook payload for. So you can determine the actions that you get notified for and finish setting up the webhook, test it, and then see if that works for you. And if that works for you, I think your issue here is pretty much solved. So please do go about that and let us know how it works. And in terms of the legality of Zoho Sign documents, this is a very broad question, so I don't think I'll be able to answer it to the extent of specificity that you are looking for. Perhaps if you can tell us which country that you reside in or which country do you do business in, so that we can help you with a more suitable answer. But in general, Zoho Sign does, like we had earlier explained during the session, comply with a plethora of laws across the world. And pretty much all the laws that define eSign specifications are something that we have in Zoho Sign. If you have questions about any specific countries and their laws, you can go to our legal guide, select the country that you want to know more about, and find out if it is in fact compliant with the country's laws and so on. So yeah, I hope that helps. To find our legal guide, you can simply go to our homepage and click on resources at the top menu and just select legal guide from the drop down. Right. So here's a follow-up question from Janora, who's asked, we are on the Zoho Recruit Standard Edition and cannot seem to make the integration work as demonstrated. Okay. So I did mention in my response to your previous question, Janora, that I believe that the integrations for Zoho Recruit are only available in the enterprise plan. But then again, I'm not entirely sure of this information, but I would like you to write to support at zohorecruit.com to figure out what's going wrong on your side. If you are in the wrong license plan, then I'm afraid you would have to upgrade to make use of this integration. If not, then there would actually be an issue that they would need to fix. Typically, this sort of thing doesn't occur, but there are chances of integrations breaking when there are multiple different organizations set up which aren't linked in the backend. So please do reach out to recruit support at the email address, which is once again support at zohorecruit.com, to try and get an answer to your question. Thank you so much. All right. So here's a question from Tajma. They've asked, can you please let me know about Zoho Recruit? This is the only Zoho program we are using now. All right. Tajma, we urge you to read up about Zoho Recruit by just visiting zoho.com/recruit and going through their resources, as it's a fairly comprehensive app in terms of dealing with your recruitment needs, be it your HR department or if you belong to a staffing agency. It just helps you automate your interview process, help you manage candidates, set up interviews, set up and then automate the whole job letter proposition and the job letter acceptance process, from which point you can even say export this data and then bring it into Zoho People if they're converted into an employee and so on. So it is a very end-to-end recruitment management solution that we have that a lot of people are using. So I hope this sort of briefly answers your question, but I know I haven't answered anything, to a great detail. We did have Manisha talking about what Recruit can do and how this Zoho Sign integration with Recruit functions earlier on in the session. So if you missed that, do just wait for a couple of days when we send out the resources for this webinar, when you can go through the recording and learn about that. All right. Here's a question from Ashutosh. Can I join any similar webinar on Zoho Flow? This could help me a lot. Ashutosh, you can write to support at zohoflow.com, and I believe one of their support engineers should be able to get in touch with you to give you a personalized demo rather than sit and wait for a webinar that happens, as webinars will be on fixed topics and they may not necessarily answer your questions to a great or elaborate level if you have any of that sort. So instead, if you want a demo of Zoho Flow on how you can use it, and if you have very specific questions on its implementation, just please reach out to their support staff at support@zohoflow.com. And I'm sure one of their support engineers will be happy to get on a one-on-one call with you and take you through their solution in a detailed manner. All right, at this point, I believe I've answered all the questions that I can answer or I know the answer to. I mean, there are a few questions which I'm not too sure about answering. Uh, so I do not want to take these questions, but I mean, there are a few specific questions about recruits integrations with other third-party applications and a couple of questions about customizations as well. These are questions I will have my support engineers take a look at, study, and then reach out to the individual uh, folks who've raised these questions through support so that they can get their solutions as needed. All right. I'm not seeing any more new questions. At this point, if there are no further questions, I think we'll close this session because we're about to approach the hour mark on this session. And I don't want to be holding up any of you, from keeping from your work day and getting your work done. But yeah, please do know if there are any unanswered questions. There are a couple, I do know that. But if you think we can answer them, do raise them again. If not, like I said, we'll have our support staff reach out to these people and answer them through email so that we are able to do this in a more personalized manner. All right, I see no further questions. In that case, thank you so much for attending this session. I think I will pass this session back to Manisha for her to make her concluding remarks. Thank you. And Manisha, the session's yours.
Great. Thank you so much, Sai, for answering all those questions. I think we can wrap up the session for today with that. Thank you all for participating. I hope you've all had a lot to learn and take away from this webinar. Do watch out for future webinars and join us to learn more. Until then, this is Manisha and Rajiv taking leave on behalf of the entire panel. Take care and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining, and we do hope that you have a great day ahead.